a brand new trading week. It's going to be a very busy week this week. And I was just checking the support folder with my support team, and it looks like we received about 55, 60 emails from people asking when is it finally time to buy that year-end rally. I don't know. We still have to see the price action actually being confirmed. But one of the stocks that's starting to look more and more interesting is shares of Facebook. Shares of Facebook, by the way, has just dropped about 40%, 40% over the past few months or so. And the funny thing is that I went back over the weekend, did some research in terms of analysts who liked it at those highs this past summer. A lot of them are the ones that don't like it now. So they liked it at the highs and now they don't like it 40% lower. It's really interesting. But I wanted to just go through the charts real quick, and then I actually think we're getting very close to getting a buy signal in Facebook in the Market Rover. The Market Rover, by the way, is coming with pop-up trade alerts, like actual pop-up on the screen in December as well. But let me just show you the chart of Facebook to give you a little bit of perspective. I do think it could be one of those stocks that could pop into year-end. But again, it's not a confirmed buy signal, but just give you some perspective here. So if we look at the chart here, you can see this is what I was just referring to a minute ago. Let me bring down the chart a little bit more so you can see this. The stock has essentially dropped from about 220 bucks to down about 130 or so. That's about a 40% clip since July. Now, what I can tell you is that we have now for the first time, or not we, the stock is for the first time reached the red line. That's your 200-week moving average. It's literally never touched it because previously the stock isn't that old, right? The stock IPO'd back in 2012. So the 200-week moving average could become a reference point, but that's just one little thing. Let's move on to point number two. Point number two, and this is a lot of people are talking about this, there is a decent amount of technical support somewhere here around the let's call it the high 120s. Low 130s or so, because we had a fairly lengthy consolidation period from about August 2016 all the way to about January 2017 where the stock consolidated previously, and it's now come back to that. It's just basically mean reverting. So that's point number two. Point number three is right down here. That's your MACD, or moving average convergence divergence oscillator. Basically the stock is now at record oversold levels on the weekly chart, not just on the daily chart. Also on the weekly chart, which meaning like each one of these, which means that it's even more oversold than a lot of people think if they just look at the daily chart. So those are just a couple of things, and the question then becomes, where could the stock rally to? I actually think once we get a confirmed buy signal, and what we need to see is some sort of seller exhaustion. We saw, I think, an initial attempt of that taking place last week. So let me quickly get rid of this as well. If you look at the weekly chart, you can see we've had some sort of exhaustion selling, but we have not had any buying attempts at all. And so that's what we're waiting to see, and I actually think the Market Rover will be giving us that signal at some point, maybe this week, maybe the week after. I do think we're getting very, very close to that. Again, it's not yet there, but I'm watching very closely. So I think once we get this, the stock could easily get back to about 150, maybe above there. That's about a 15% rally from right now, which one could capture by either buying the stock, buying call spreads, selling put spreads. There's a lot of different things you can do. So I think the stock's getting very close to potentially give us a buy signal. It's not quite there yet, in my opinion. We've seen attempts at seller exhaustion. The stock has not yet exhausted itself because it hasn't yet followed through with some sort of buying, but I think we're getting very, very close. So that's one of the stocks that we are going to be looking at this week with all our clients and members, and of course, again, the Market Rover will hopefully be giving us a buy signal here very soon. I hope this is helpful. Have a great start to the week, and I'll talk to you soon.